How's it going, folks? It's great to be back, and I appreciate you tuning in. Before we dive into the fascinating topic I want to discuss today, make sure you're subscribed to my channels on YouTube and Rumble. You can also find me on Substack for more weekly content. I've shared all the necessary links in the description below, so you can easily connect with me and stay updated on the latest discussions. Today, I want to explore the rapidly evolving landscape of the BRICS bloc and its potential to disrupt the traditional world order. The BRICS alliance, consisting of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, has been gaining momentum and could pose a significant economic threat to the dominance of a small group of countries that have historically wielded immense global influence. One of the key aspects we'll be delving into is the concept of dollarization and why it's becoming an increasingly critical issue. The US dollar has enjoyed the status of the global reserve currency for decades, dating back to the Bretton Woods Agreement in 1944. However, it's crucial to understand that the dollar's reign as the dominant global currency is not set in stone, and its position is not guaranteed indefinitely. So, what exactly is dollarization, and why should you care? Well, dollarization refers to the widespread use of the US dollar as a medium of exchange and store of value in international trade and finance. As the dollar is utilized in global transactions, its value and influence have far-reaching implications that affect various aspects of our lives. To be prepared for the changes that lie ahead, you need to have the information and knowledge to understand this complex issue fully. Now, I understand that there may be skepticism surrounding this topic. Many people have grown up with a certain narrative, dismissing alternative perspectives as mere propaganda. However, it's crucial to keep an open mind and explore a variety of viewpoints to form your own conclusions. The reality is that the dominance of the US dollar is not as rock-solid as one might think. Recently, a former White House special advisor and staff economist at the White House Council of Economic Advisers, Joe Sullivan, penned an insightful article titled "The Dollar's Dominance is Shakier Than Ever." In this article, he discusses the challenges the dollar faces in the context of the BRICS bloc's rise. I'll provide a link to the article below so you can delve deeper into this issue. Sullivan makes a critical point in his article: don't confuse a headline with a trend. In other words, just because the BRICS bloc hasn't launched a gold-backed currency as some had anticipated, it doesn't mean that the trend towards de-dollarization isn't in motion. The BRICS countries are not solely responsible for driving this shift. It's the changes in the global economic landscape and the foreign policies of the United States that are incentivizing foreign nations to seek alternatives. The BRICS bloc, or now BRICS Plus with the addition of new member nations, is strategically positioned to challenge the traditional world structure. The decision to include these new members was largely motivated by the bloc's desire to secure control over essential natural resources. Once their membership becomes fully effective on January 1, the BRICS bloc will control half of global crude oil production. The inclusion of Argentina and Iran also grants access to vast natural gas reserves. It's not just about crude oil, though. As Sullivan's article highlights, the strategic positioning of Egypt, Ethiopia, and Saudi Arabia within the BRICS Plus alliance holds the potential to disrupt world trade on a massive scale. These three countries essentially encircle the Suez Canal, a vital artery for the global economy. Approximately 12% of all global trade flows through this crucial waterway, connecting the Mediterranean to the Red Sea. With BRICS Plus in control, the Red Sea effectively becomes a BRICS Plus lake. This shift in power could have profound implications for global trade. But that's not all. Egypt, Ethiopia, and Saudi Arabia's strategic location also means they can exert significant influence over other countries in the region, particularly in East Africa. For example, Ethiopia wields influence over East African nations like Sudan and Somalia, which line the rest of the Red Sea's western shore. This positioning enables BRICS Plus to shape trade routes, disrupt global trade dynamics, and challenge the existing world order. The strength of the BRICS alliance isn't merely economic, it's geopolitical. As the article points out, the BRICS bloc is a significant non-Western economic alliance that wields considerable power due to its control over critical resources and strategic locations. With countries like Brazil, Russia, and China producing rare earth metals vital for the green energy industry, and Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE joining as fossil fuel exporters, BRICS Plus holds the keys to a vast portion of the world's energy resources. What this means is that these countries have no intention of conducting their trades in US dollars. Whether they choose to use a new BRICS currency, the Chinese RMB, or any other currency of their preference, the demand for the US dollar is set to decrease. When an asset loses demand, it naturally becomes less valuable. Fewer people want it, and fewer people need it. Now, let's take a moment to ask everyday Americans what they think about these developments. Leave a comment above and share your thoughts on the changing landscape of global economics and the potential implications for the US dollar. But it's not just about economic commodities like crude oil and natural gas. The article goes on to emphasize the broader implications of BRICS Plus. With Egypt, Ethiopia, and Saudi Arabia on board, the alliance can potentially disrupt world trade across various sectors, not just in the energy industry. These three countries' strategic positions in the Middle East could reshape global trade dynamics and challenge the existing world order. The Suez Canal, as mentioned earlier, is a key player in this scenario, facilitating a substantial portion of global trade. However, with BRICS Plus encircling it, the balance of power could shift dramatically. In fact, the Suez Canal may not have any beaches, but it now effectively operates within a BRICS Plus sphere. In recent weeks, we've witnessed several resolutions introduced to the United Nations, aiming to secure ceasefires in conflict areas. What's intriguing is that 120 countries voted in favor of these resolutions, while only 14 voted against them. Take a look at the map of these votes, and you'll notice a significant shift in global dynamics. In the context of BRICS Plus and an increasingly multipolar world, these voting patterns reflect the growing divide between Western countries and the rest of the world. Now, let's address a common concern some may have: the perception that BRICS is just an extension of China's influence. Skeptics argue that since China's economy is currently slowing down, the BRICS alliance won't be as effective. It's true that China's economic growth has slowed, but it's essential to recognize that the economies of developed nations are facing similar challenges. For instance, the European Union's projected growth is negative, and Germany, Europe's largest economy, has been stagnant since the beginning of 2023. This brings us to a crucial point made by Joe Sullivan: a smaller Chinese economy actually benefits BRICS as a whole. A more balanced BRICS, with a smaller Chinese economy, can serve shared interests rather than being dominated by a single member. This balance is a gift to BRICS Plus and further enhances its potential to reshape the global economic landscape. So, when we discuss dollarization, it's vital to consider this broader context and background. These are the driving forces behind the shift in global economic power and the changing worldview. Unfortunately, you're unlikely to come across this kind of analysis on mainstream financial news outlets like CNBC or Bloomberg. It's essential to seek alternative sources of information to gain a comprehensive understanding of these developments. I hope you found this discussion enlightening and thought-provoking. If you enjoyed this content, please show your support by giving it a like and consider sharing it with your friends and peers. Subscribe to my channels on Rumble and YouTube for more insightful discussions, and you can find all my social links in the description below. Don't forget to follow me on Substack for regular weekly content. I'll be back with another video tomorrow, so stay tuned for more engaging discussions. Bye for now. Disclaimer: the views and opinions expressed in this audio content are solely those of the author and do not necessarily reflect the official policies or positions of any organization or entity.